much of a challenge has it been to put the side together this week?
Yeah, same as usual. Same like it's been for a few weeks. Mikelai's back from past his concussion, but Richie Miley and Stevie Ward miss out. They're going to wait another week. Not sure if they'll be ready for Wigan as well. So the severity of Stevie's concussion means he's got to be monitored after this week, and we'll try and get him ready for Wigan. But Richie Miley had his second knockout in a number of weeks, so once again after this weekend he'll start his return to play, and we'll see if they're ready for Wigan.
Is Stevie still feeling some after effects?
Yeah, he was. I'm not sure. I spoke to him for a day or so now, but he's on at training. He hasn't been at training. He's been stood down. It was a big one that he had, and he passed his head test on the field. It was right that he passed his head test as well, because he gave all the right answers, but it hurts. It's a funny one with the concussion, and I don't disagree with it. It's a great. What's been implemented is great for player safety. But some of the criteria of are they ready to play? Are they ready to go back on? Do you feel rough? Do you feel nauseous? And it's a bit. I'm probably being a bit simplistic there. They ask smarter questions than that. But you go ask any one of those 17 players playing, they all feel nauseous, they all feel rough, they all feel pain. So, Stevie's been feeling pretty rough after the game and for the next couple of days after, which automatically stood him down for the following week.
What are you expecting from Catalan?
Yeah, well, they're a team that's who could be in form, and they're not far off being in form. And a disappointing loss there against Huddersfield, but they were 18-0 up at one stage and dismantled Huddersfield for a period. So, they're going to be a determined team. We went out there just recently and had a bit of a battle against them, and I thought we had the game at one stage on the way back, but as has been usual, we just lacked that bit of class, to finish the game off, and we got back to 14, 16 or something, or 17 it was, and maybe we should have pushed on, but we didn't.
Sure, you'll watch the footage from Catalan's game last week, and Drinkwater's kicking was pretty devastating, wasn't it?
Yeah, at the moment, a few tries coming from kicks, and sometimes that can be the difference.
How big a game is it just to get the ball rolling again?
It's probably the same answer. He's going to ask me, is it a must-win game soon, isn't he? It's the same. We're just on the cusp of being very good. I thought we were great against Saints last week. I thought the week before, for parts of our game against Huddersfield, you can see the blokes pulling trees up for each other and trying. And again, against Huddersfield, we just lacked that bit of class. Last week, against Saints, we had some class, but the opposition matched us there. And we're not far off being a very good team. And as soon as we break it, as soon as we get a win, and more importantly, get that performance behind it for the full duration of game, which we had against Saints. A long period of playing really well over the course of 80 minutes. I think we'll just kick straight into it. It will be a case of a stuttering few games after that. So we just got to get that first win.
How much onus is it putting on training as well? Because if you had a fully fit squad at this part of the season, it'd be about fine-tuning and things like that. I'm guessing you're having to work on crucial combinations, different combinations in training.
Yeah, I don't think it's not even that. We just don't have blokes training. That's the reality of when you get an injured squad and the blokes that are getting used. I could mention to you 4 or 5 blokes who get used week in, week out. They don't have a rest, they don't have a break. Squad rotation is not an issue. It's something that we're not afforded that luxury. But what people don't understand is they're on the field every session. So, usually with a 25-man squad or a 30-man squad, there'll be 2 or 3 blokes who just fancy a session off here and there, just because it's hard. Running 3, 4, 5 kilometres every single day. Every single day they'll run 5 kilometres, warm up and everything in it. And you might be able to say to 1 or 2 of those through the week, through the course of the season, stay indoors, go do something indoors, and the boffins, the sports scientists will take care of them. But we can't do that. They get used up every single week because we don't have anybody else training. So we've been through this a number of times. A couple of years ago, went through this at a really dramatic level. But they're all fit, they're all strong. Even the ones that are injured are in good shape, you know, but it's in that way. They haven't had a pre-season or anything like that. When they do come back, you know, we'll be good.
Ryan, speaking to a couple of the players this week, it's clear that there's still a lot of optimism with them in the first round. Is that something that you've noticed, that you're coming in still on a Monday for the review, there's no doom and gloom, there's still a lot of optimism, there's a lot of points still?
That's it. I think, and you've got to be credible with that. You've got to be realistic. I can't say keep a positive slant, full stop. You've got to be positive about something. And they know that we're not far off. The players know that we're not far off, and the players know that some of the current injury list means getting a win against certain teams is very, very difficult. And you know, it's an hard balance to strike each week, to work on what you've got to work on, to recognise what you've been poor at, but at the same time know that you're good enough and can win the following week. Each week we go through a process of getting the team ready, and by the time we do our captain's run, the session before we play, we believe we're going to win the next week, no matter what the current situation is, and that's where they are at the moment. And that's there's a bit goes into that. That's not easily done, that.
You touched on this before, but you must be learning a lot about some of the younger players that are playing at the moment, that are taking their chances, and some of the other players as well, during what you described a few weeks ago, probably what still is a really difficult patch for you at the moment.
Yeah, learning about whether Harry Newman's got it. Jack Walker, we found out, was an extremely good player. Mikolaj Ledsky is a great example of that. I think he came in against Wakefield a few weeks ago, and I was never sure about Mick right here and now. We always thought he was going to be a good player as he was older, but you know, most young men who weigh as much as him, who are as big as him, can't manage the body. They're not used to managing the body. It can take a number of years to be that big and heavy and still be able to try and be dynamic on the field. We found out that he can do that. You only find out if you play him. The only reason we're going to play Mick this year regularly is if went through an injury list. So we found out about a few players, and I've also said that, you know, somebody like Liam Sutcliffe and Ash Hanley in particular, who's grabbed that centre spot and kept hold of it, and been a great performer for us. And Ash has been round now for a couple of years, and got a good number of games under his belt. We found out he's ready to progress onto that next level, and, you know, a serious contender for a starting shirt most weeks.
Finally, I just wanted to get an update on a couple of the players, JJB and Peter. Do you know sort of how their rehab's going? Do you know how far away they are?
Yeah. Jones is he's still more than a month. Nathan would be, you know, 8-9 weeks now away. Especially with the biceps, you can't rush those. You just got to wait for it to heal. You can't go faster at your rehab and get it done quicker. Carl Ablett would be, you know, still 3 weeks at least. Jimmy Kino's same, maybe a bit more with Jimmy. We know about Callum. Brad Singleton's going to have his pot off at the back end of this month, next week I think it is. And then from there he thinks he's just going to crack on and play, Brad. I think I don't know, he probably will do as well. So his return to play could be pretty close. Anybody else? Yeah, I think that's it.